Yo guys, how's it going? We're here for another episode of our bet and career mode on FIFA 18. Starting today's episode off with a little bit of a training session there before we jump into our first game, which is against Ipswich at away from home in this one. Hoping to hopefully get better result in this game than we did our last game against Ipswich, because we really struggled against Ipswich last time we was out. Trying to push on and get some more points in the lead of the league at the moment, because we are, well, not exactly close, but we are close at the same time. So hopefully I'm trying to push on, maybe increase that lead even more like we was at the beginning of the season, and hopefully we can do that in this game by grabbing ourselves a win. As you see, we had a bit of a change round of a couple of players in this one to give a couple of players a rest. But we go straight into today's first game, where we come in and we're taking the ball in the middle of the pitch. Ben wins the ball. He gets the ball up the pitch. He whacks a shot, but honestly it wasn't the best of shots there from Hopper. Should have done better. But they come on the attack not long after, trying to make that space and trying to cause us problems. McGoldrick doing it again, because he's the one that caused us so many problems in the last game. They do try and get into the box. We're keeping them out for a bit, but they do fight. Eventually Jink can drive their way through, but it gets put wide of the post. As you see there, wasn't the best of shots. Should have done a hell of a lot better from that position, really. But luckily for us, he does put the ball wide, and that means we are still at 0-0 in this game. But not long after, we come on the attack again, trying to force our way through the defence. We pass the ball off, but he gets brought down on the edge of the area, and we get a penalty. Webster brings our man down and just inside the area. I didn't actually see it when it first got given. I didn't realise that it was a penalty, and honestly, I don't think that is a penalty, to be honest. Hopper's probably about the same strength as Webster, and I don't think that was really a penalty. But we got given it, and I ain't going to say no to it when it's there. And Bent steps up to take it, but once again, we do change it over to Hopper, like I always do, to try and get him a couple of goals. As we take the shot here to try and smash it in the top left corner, and he does just that to make us 1-0 up against Ipswich. A very nice goal there from Hopper. He won the penalty, took the penalty and scored it. And this time he didn't fluff his chance like he did with one of the last penalties. He's actually put this one away and made it 2-1. It was a very nice penalty as well, quite high up in the goal. And I think if the keeper had gone the right way, then he would have saved it, to be honest. But at the end of the day, he's gone the wrong way, and we have got the goal to put us in the lead in this one, as he's got into double figures now for his goal tally for the season, which is brilliant for us. He's one of many strikers that's doing well for us this season. So at the end of the day, we've got someone to rely on. And Miller breaks his way into the box for this attack. He smashes it to the back post. Bent takes a header. It gets saved, but it does come back out to us here as we try and find a way back into the box. As we do just that, Miller takes a shot, but unluckily it goes just wide from Miller. A very, very nice piece of play there. Good way to get into some space, but it wasn't the best of shots in the end. I do really like him. Like I say, he's a good player. One thing I've got to improve with him is his finishing, because that's probably the one part of his game that isn't the best. But hopefully we can improve that before, as time goes on at least. And they come on the attack here, and it's McGoldrick again getting inside the box and putting that shot wide, though luckily he's still causing problems for us from the last match that we played. But luckily, like I say, he puts the ball wide there, and we stay at 1-0. Going into the second half here, we get a chance, we take a shot, and it gets put into the back of the net to make it 2-0. Darren Bent with the goal there. Messed up a couple of chances in the first half, but he doesn't do that with this one and puts us 2-0 up. Brilliant for us. We're doing very well in this match against Ipswich. I thought I'd come into this one and struggle like I did in the last game, but we wasn't getting through that like this time, and we do go 2-0 up, which is brilliant for us, and another striker doing absolute bits in front of goal, doing absolutely brilliantly this season, Darren Bent. And hopefully, as you see there, he's in double figures for goals as well this season, which makes 2 or 3 players now this season that are in double figures, which is brilliant for us. But they do come on the attack a bit later on in the match. We take a slide tackle, it was a terrible slide tackle, and it gets played into the back of the net, which was terrible defending from me. And it's Waghorn, the man that I think I'm going to try and sign in January, because he seems like a really good player. Like I say, I've known him since he was at Leicester, but hopefully we might try and sign him in the January transfer window. I don't quite know yet. But like I say, they just split the defence there. After I made a silly challenge, they absolutely opened me up, and it gets put into the back of the net with a very nice finish, calm and collected from Waghorn there. And that makes it 2-1, and we was a bit under the cosh after that first goal had gone in, because I know how bad I am at keeping leads. When they score 1 goal, it normally leads to them coming back into the game. As you see, McGoldrick does exactly that and puts them 2-2. And McGoldrick, once again, being the man that absolutely destroys everything for me. I hate him. But, like I say, that is 2 apiece at this point. And every time I seem to be 2 goals up, if the other team score, I cannot keep that lead for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something built into the game that you're not supposed to. But honestly, every time that I have a 2-goal lead, they get 1 back, I always end up losing the lead, and it's so annoying. But I suppose that's my fault more than anything. And McGoldrick does put it into the back of the net, like I say. He hasn't actually scored too many goals this season, which is quite surprising, really. But we do finish the game at 2 apiece. We couldn't quite get back into the lead after this game. But like I say, unluckily, we do lose a 2-goal lead, which really just isn't good enough, to be honest. But we didn't have too many chances really going forward in the second half. They kind of pinned us back a bit, and that was basically our downfall really in the second half. The fact that they were basically getting chances and we just wasn't creating them at all in the second half compared to what we were in the first. But like I say, we'll try and push on from that in the next game, which is this one against Reading. As you've seen just before that, we had a little training session trying to improve the players again. And Reading very far down in the league at the minute, which is quite surprising because I quite like Reading and they're quite a good team. But we are the best defensive team in the league still, even though we keep conceding quite a few goals recently. But the thing that I've noticed with this team is the fact of, if we concede 1, then we concede loads. But if we don't concede 1, then we're fine. It seems like as soon as we do concede, we concede a lot. But if we don't concede, then like that's it. We don't concede at all. And it's kind of annoying because I'd rather concede like a fewer amount of goals but in more matches, which is kind of confusing, but still. And for the second game in a row, we do get another penalty, and it was Liam Moore, another Leicester player, getting a yellow card there for bringing Akins down in the box, and completely, that was a foul, no question about it. Not like the last game, that was a definite foul, this one. And Hopper again stands up to take the penalty, tries to smash it in the right hand side, and again for the second game in a row, 2 penalties and 2 goals, and both of them for Tom Hopper. It basically gave me Hopper, so I just decided to use him instead of giving it Akins. And in this game, Hopper was trying to prove to Akins why he was the man playing and it wasn't him anymore. And he does just that by putting that penalty away and making sure that we're 1-0 up against Reading here. Absolutely brilliantly done. Very nice penalty. And like I said in the last game, it was like if the keeper had dove the right way, then he would have saved it, no problem. But he didn't, and that's lucky for us. But we do come forward on another attack here, jinking and jiving, taking a shot, but Tom Hopper couldn't quite keep the shot down, and it gets blasted over the bar. He did well. It was a very nice run. It would have been better if he'd put the ball in the back of the net, but it was a very nice run nonetheless. And I'm very happy that he's actually getting better at dribbling, which is the best thing, because he needs to get better at that. But we do come forward again on another attack. Samuelson down that right hand side, crossing the ball in, and it does just go wide of the post from Akins. It was a very, very, very nice piece of play from Samuelson, and inches wide from Akins. It should have went in the back of the net, really. And at this point, I was thinking, what is the point in playing Akins? Because Hopper would have finished that chance. But like I say, we do miss that opportunity. But we get another attack going straight from the keeper kick out here. As we get straight on the ball, we go forward, take a shot, it gets deflected, we cross it back in, but there we go. It is 2-0, and again, Akins doesn't mess up this chance. He was determined to get another chance and score this one after he missed that pretty much of a sitter of a header in the last attack. A few pretty much seconds or minutes later, he puts one in the back of the net with a nice volley into the left hand side. It was basically the same kind of chance, for the fact it was like the same cross sort of thing, but not into the same area, and that one was a volley instead of a header, which just shows me that he's better at using his feet than he is his head. And that means that he's not quite into double figures yet for this game, for this season, which just proves that Hopper's playing better at this point in time. And they come on an attack here and put the ball just wide of the post with Bavardson. It was a very nice shot there, quite a good piece of play. And to be fair, he did well to get it that close to going in the back of the net. Manone clearly not happy with that chance though. It wasn't very happy about him missing that shot. But it does go wide as we come into the second half here, trying to get the ball clear. It was a terrible effort for a clearance, and we luckily get the man behind the ball. But it does go out for a corner, as you see here. They take a corner. I don't know what happened there. We tried to clear the ball. Instead it was like a pass, and they passed it straight to the opposition. But Samuelson on the line, blocking it with his head and keeping us 2-0 up. As we try and get the ball away from a second corner, it does go out for a throw in here, where they're lining up the throw, taking a long throw in. It goes straight into the box. They head it on. It's like a game of keepy uppy here, but it goes into the back of the net to make it 2-1 here. Bavardson with the goal. It was a very nice piece of play by Reading. That attack, like from the throw in where they kept the ball in the air, and then a very nice like half volley there from Bavardson. Very well played from them to keep the ball in the air and actually create that chance. As you see, it was like a game of keepy uppy here before it comes to this point, and then Bavardson hits a very nice shot with a half volley. Sad that it went in, but it was a very well deserved goal there, because that was a very nice finish. Grimshaw definitely weren't getting to that shot into the back of the net. It was going in no matter what there. Whether it was Blackman in goal or what, it was him, it was in the back of the net, and it does mean that we are now 2-1, and we're hoping that nothing happened like it did in the last game, because I would have been very annoyed if it did go like that. But straight from kickoff here, we have an attack trying to get the ball into the opposition to try and push us on and make sure that the same thing doesn't happen again. As Akins turns his man, he gets brought down in the area. And this was our chance. Bakunov brought Akins down once again. It was the second time over this game that Akins gets brought down in the box. It's our second penalty of the game. And hopefully it'll end up in the same way that it did in the first chance, where Hopper puts the ball in the back of the net. That is just what we're hoping for right now, because at this point I was thinking the same thing was going to strike again. And Hopper takes a shot to the left-hand side, and it hits the bar, and it goes out and gets cleared by Reading eventually. As it comes to the 90th minute here, they have one last-ditch attack to try and get themselves back into this game and get a draw. But defence is keeping quite tight, but they do get into the box. They take a shot, but luckily for us, finally goes wide, and honestly we could take a massive deep breath after that had gone wide, because I was panicking to hell when they started coming on an attack here. I was begging the ref to blow the whistle. He didn't, but luckily for us the ball does go wide and over, and we do actually win the game 2-1 against Reading, trying to push ourselves, like I say, further on in the league and keep a bigger points difference between us and the team in second. But that is the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, then please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and peace.